Yo, what is up, my Knights of the Round Table? Let me put my keyboard away. And welcome back to Fight Night with your boy, the Knight. That wasn't an actual thing I did. That was just me being an idiot. If I was actually doing a form, I would have done it better. This is a death battle, Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen. I don't know who I'm rooting for yet. I know both of these characters, but I want to get the rundown just before I make my decision and make myself look like an idiot. Now, I want this known ahead of time. May or not see this battle, may not see this video, because there is a running pattern with my death battles being copyrighted. And it's really hit or miss. So, some battles are copyrighted, some of them aren't. So, we're going to see how this one does. Zuko, Miles Morales were two of the ones that have been copyrighted, and I got shit for that Miles Morales one, even though it wasn't my fault. I was only allowed to post a minute. It's all it would let me. I fought for at least 10. Death battle.
Who runs the world?
The ladies. So obviously there's a bunch of awesome crime-fighting chicks out there.
Like Barbara Gordon, DC Comics vigilante known as Batgirl.
And Marvel's Gwen Stacy, the one you know as Spider-Gwen. He's Wiz and I'm
Spider-Gwen has such a dope
And
design.
it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Barbara Gordon always had a connection to crime fighting. Her father was Gotham City's police commissioner, and she idolized the legendary superhero, Batman.
So she whipped up her own bat costume to crash a police ball. Yeah, she's a rebel, but plot twist, a criminal crashed it first, and she wound up saving the day.
This sparked a fire in Barbara, a fire for justice, and a drive to confront crime on her own. With this new mission came another goal, to officially join Batman and Robin
As the next badass crime fighter, Batgirl. You know, how come she's called Batgirl when Dick gets to be Robin? Her identity and individuality shouldn't be anchored to the patriarchal idea that women are publicly defined by the men in their life.
Well said, Boomstick. Now, joining the Bat family wasn't easy. The
Marvel,
dynamic duo
yes.
weren't exactly keen on adding a third wheel.
But Batgal worked hard to prove herself, and she's not just a tough fighter, she's super smart.
With
Yeah,
a strong
she's a
understanding of
near
technology
photographic
and
memory.
computer hacking, Batgirl knew she could prove useful to a team that relies on tech. Like, you know, Batman and Robin.
How could the bat and the bird say no?
And after
Hey,
several
Robin
years of
relies
Batcave,
on
she
athleticism
honed her
too,
skills by
and
training
Batman
with
relies on
Batman
strength and
himself.
fighting.
Who's basically the world's greatest ninja times 1,000.
Yeah.
Not like she was some rookie before that, though. Her comp dad had her study a bunch of martial arts like judo and karate.
Of course, Batgirl wears her own custom bat suit.
Arkham Knight had like one of the dopest looking Batgirl
With
suits.
advanced technology.
It is my personal
It's
favorite.
basically a slimmed-down combination of military-grade armor and spy gear that even James Bond would be jealous of.
Why are we showing Batman and Robin unless
Survive
we...
This humongous explosion. Look at the size
Jesus
of that
Christ.
thing.
She also added plenty of her own tools to her arsenal for an extra advantage. Everything from a taser to pepper spray, concussion bombs, smoke bombs, and foam bombs that can bind people in place.
What's with all the bombs?
And of course, she's got batarangs. Dummy?
Here I come. I'm just dying to help.
Everyone knows about the basic shuriken the bats are famous for.
Ow.
But Miss Gordon also carries an electric variant.
Batman does too. Don't they all carry the same gadgets?
Huh. Well, that was...
You know,
oh.
that's very nice of you. That you never appreciate me. You know what? If there was an award for being nice, you wouldn't win it.
He's drunk.
You hear me?
Those are awesome. Let me try. Oh, God, why? Anyway, Batgirl's also got guns, but like non-bullet ones. She's got a gun that shoots sleeping gas, a gun that shoots a grappling hook, and a gun that shoots batarangs.
Awesome!
Because why would you throw something when you can fire it out of a gun?
She's quick enough to dodge bullet fire and avoid electricity from live wire.
Who's basically just a scarier version of Blue Jamie Foxx from that one movie about amazing spiders.
I like
Also,
the Amazing Spider-Man
Batwoman's tough
too.
enough to take a
Controversial.
5-story fall or have a friggin' building explode while she's inside. Damn, girl, you're unstoppable.
Well, until she was shot and paralyzed from the waist down. But even with the loss of her legs, she rallied around her peers and kept fighting the good fight as Oracle.
Remember those computer skills? Well, they sure came in handy here, along with her photographic memory. Plus, she could dodge bullets while in a freaking wheelchair.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
Acid murder ball.
Certainly setting her apart from the likes of Batman and Robin. She even learned stick fighting while still paralyzed.
She can beat
Yes.
your ass even while sitting on hers. What can't she do in that wheelchair? Well, besides walk.
Not for too long, though. She eventually received neural implants in her brain and spine that let her walk again. Unfortunately, these devices are vulnerable to short-circuiting and AI hacking, but they're an acceptable risk and have been improved over time to resist such incursions.
Which just makes her that much harder to beat. I mean, she's strong enough to outmuscle a giant mutant shark and suplex a fully grown tiger. Move over, Joe Exotic. Make way for the Tiger Queen.
And think, somebody like Joker takes the beatings from these motherfuckers. Dick held open a shark's mouth.
Of her city.
Crazy to think how far the wannabe sidekick has come. She's really stepped out of Batman's shadow and become her own hero. The goddamn Batgirl.
Ha!
Overstepping yourself a little? Try me.
Oh, not sponsored. Nope, nope, copyright. Video going down.
Before Mary Jane, everyone's favorite spider superhero Peter Parker dated a girl named Gwendolyn Stacy.
Yeah.
But then she fell off a bridge and died.
Julie fell for him.
That isn't the end. The universe is full of possibilities. What if, in another timeline, that never happened? What if Peter never found that radioactive spider that made him Spider-Man in the first place? What if the superhero was Gwen?
Welcome to Earth 65.
Vulture stinks.
This Gwen was a teen kicking back in New York City. She's a drummer for her high school band and the daughter of a police chief.
And she's this world's one and only Spider-Woman.
Though you might know her as Spider-Gwen. With her cool powers, she got busy fighting crime. But hey, who can blame her for showing off a bit? She does whatever a spider can.
Yep.
Though her police father didn't approve, insisting Spider-Woman could use her powers for the good of others. However, her close friend, the non-superpowered Peter of this world, had a different take.
He was getting bullied all the time and idolized Spider-Gwen's power. So, of course, he figured the only way to stop the bullies was to get powers like hers. Except he accidentally turned himself into a giant monster lizard. Okay.
Whom the young Miss Stacy was forced to subdue. Peter ultimately succumbed to his experiments, dying in her arms. His death turned Spider-Woman into a fugitive on the run, but also inspired her to take her father's advice.
It was time to step up as a superhero. With her spiderific powers, she can crawl on walls and stick to any surface. Imagine, you're sitting on your couch being all that is man, and you look up at your ceiling, and instead of seeing a normal spider, there's a whole-ass woman up there. Yes, please.
Spider-Woman also has the classic spider sense, which constantly scans her surroundings and alerts her to incoming danger.
How many times have we said the word spider so far? We get to 50, do we get a free taco?
Thanks to her spider sense, Gwen's move fast enough to dodge bullets, lasers, and lightning from Electro.
On his best day, classic Spider-Mans even dodged beams of light, at least for a bit before he got smacked.
She's tough enough to power through point-blank explosions just as well as electrocution. And yes, she has similar powers as other spider people like main universe Peter, who survived a massive explosion that annihilated the top of this skyscraper.
And she's strong enough to punch Rhino through a wall, the guy, not another animal, and lift over 10 tons.
But of course, to truly fit the role of Spider-Woman, she needed one last thing.
Spidey sense.
Thanks to Janet Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, Gwen received
Web shooters.
her very own web shooters.
Why do these people keep using sticky stuff that just gets everywhere? Kinda gross.
The web fluid isn't just sticky, but incredibly strong.
Hey,
The tensile strength of regular spider silk can reportedly reach up to 178 kilograms per square millimeters in a cross-section. Scaled up to a human-sized web, it would be nearly as strong as steel.
oh, come on, Wiz, this is a new shirt.
That can't be. It already has beer stains all over it.
That's just my style. Like all those girls that just cut a bunch of holes in their jeans and ruin them.
Even with those similar powers, Gwen's not your average spider hero. She's made a habit of traveling throughout the multiverse.
And she lost her powers permanently. They were stolen by Cindy Moon, because she's the worst. Gwen could briefly restore her powers with these isotope things, but she didn't really have a good solution. Until she found Venom. No, really, Venom. You know, the scary alien sludge monster guy that eats brains?
Despite it being, well, Venom, Gwen took the symbiote for herself. Formed into her new suit, her powers were fully restored.
Oh yes, she's back in black.
You note this version of Venom is a bit different from the one you're most familiar with. It was lab-created and not nearly as potent or powerful.
It can form talons, camouflage her, and do some limited shape-shifting. But Gwen won't be reforming from a puddle of goo or anything crazy like that. Also, she can create even more spiders? Who the hell came up with that? I guess the only problem is the symbiote's weak to loud sounds and fire. It's basically scared of a metal concert.
Ironic, considering its preferred look. But it's still Venom, and its violent nature tore Gwen apart. Eventually, she wound up unmasked and indicted.
What do you mean unmasked? Her name's Spider-Gwen. Everyone should have figured that out.
Yeah.
Have you been paying attention?
Yes, Wiz.
There ain't Spider-Woman, though.
Spider chick kicked lots of ass.
After serving her time and even gaining control of the symbiote, shifting it into her more iconic getup, Gwen took a trip to the mainline 616 Earth.
Basically, she got about as popular as Spider-Man, and they wanted to jam her in the universe.
There, she regained her secret identity. But since there were a few other Spider-Women running around, she took on a new moniker. Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider! That's right. This chick's too good to protect one world. She's got two. It's awesome to see how far she's come from teenage show-off to guardian of the multiverse.
That's why I work alone. I need...
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But while these gals have survived some close shaves in the past, you too can get a close shave with Harry's.
Time.
So it's a 3D fight. Oh god. The Spider-Verse trippy teleportation shit. The Dominator portal. Wow. I'm gonna go with Batgirl.
Stupid thing. I said take me to Miles, not this.
I'm gonna go Batgirl. Spider-Gwen.
You're the stupid one for dropping by unannounced. Don't you treat your guests well.
I just don't.
Taken, Dracula. Get out of your hair. See ya.
Hey, that's Nightwings. Might be. Yeah, it looks like Nightwings. That's his Arkham City sticks. Hey, Joker card. Oh, that might come back to fuck her over. Oh, I might have chose wrong, people. Oh, I might have chose wrong. Oh, this is not looking good for me.
End of the road, loser. I'll find you. You're on my turf. Too late. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Relying too much on that. Oh, Spider-Man 1 reference.
You haven't won yet.
Oh boy.
Now I have.
KO! Looks like Batgirl's turned into Splat.
Batgirl wielded an impressive arsenal with plenty of tools suited to combat Gwen's abilities. Not to mention, Gwen was no match for her stellar intelligence.
Which made this pretty close. There are plenty of versions of this fight where Batgirl could take down the symbiote with sound and fire.
But even with such weaknesses, the Ghost Spider held enough of her own advantages to take the win more times than not.
So while Batgirl's training was certainly better, the spider sense is just super broken. Gwen and other Spideys have held up against martial arts masters like Captain America, who is definitely on par with super ninjas like Batman.
Not to mention, Gwen was clearly stronger than Barbara. Plus, Spider-Man survived that skyscraper bomb with the same powers, which Batgirl definitely wouldn't walk away from.
It was way bigger than the building blast that Batgirl barely survived. Hell, Batman's biggest explosion survival feat doesn't even match it. Listen, I know explosions, and by measuring the size of this blast, I can tell it's equal to about 60 tons of TNT. But applying the same math stuff to Spider-Man's, it's more than double that.
To be frank, Batgirl had the tools she needed to take down Spider-Woman. Gwen was simply stronger, faster, tougher, and made good use of the spider sense, making it extremely difficult for Barbara to land a decisive hit before taking one herself.
It seems batty, but Batgirl was overwhelmed by Spider-Gwen spinning this one in her favor. Jesus webbed.
The winner is Spider-Gwen.
That's fine. That's fair. I really shouldn't have went against... I had faith. I'm a sucker for the underdog. I was really thinking that Barbara would have done like they said and would have figured out the symbiote's weaknesses. Because Barbara, I think, has the same detective vision that all the other Bat family members have. So, I've stated there are scenarios where Batman can beat Spider-Man. And I'm a huge Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite hero, while Batman's only my third favorite hero. Because Spider-Man's senses are so enhanced that something like a flashbang grenade or the sonic devices would hurt him much, much more. And against a fighter like Batman, that's not really something you want. Plus, Batman has experience taking hits from people that can hit that hard. And I said that when I reacted to Spider-Man vs. Batman, that there were certain scenarios I believe Batman could win. And like they said here, there are certain scenarios Batgirl could win. Like they said it themselves. Like there were scenarios where she would figure out where the symbiote's weak spot. I thought that a Scrimma stick was going to come down and fuck up her spine and the spine neural implants. That's what I thought was about to happen. I was like, okay, they focused on that too much. That's going to fuck me over. Barbara really relied on the batarangs too much, which is not something you want to do against the spider people. Yeah, it's like kind of like fighting Deathstroke. You gotta mix the shit up. Oddly, she didn't utilize her knockout gas, which would have possibly worked. Yeah, it would require a higher dosage since spider family has a enhanced metabolism, so therefore they burn through shit faster. But yeah, this was a fair decision. Spider-Gwen does win more times than not. Because, like they said, she just has too much going for her. But I do confidently say that there are scenarios where Batgirl wins. I say that confidently. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.